Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Highly Suspicious Podcast with Louie and Preston. My name is Louie.
My name's Preston.
We're reporting once again, live from the Trap House. Welcome to everyone old and new. So, next week's episode is going to be the Season 2 finale. I know a lot of people don't understand the seasons we're doing or why we're doing them, but we're just going to take a week off and kind of reconvene, and talk about ways to make the podcast better, get more guests for you guys, talk about how we can be more consistent. So there will be one more episode next week, and then we're going to take a week off, and then we should be back to regularly scheduled programming. I think we're going to do the Wednesday drop date again. Now that school's over. Now that school's over.
For the next season?
And my work is over. Yeah, for the next season. So, I have insider information today. I have some behind-the-scenes shit that I'm going to be talking about today. And it's a huge cover-up because nobody's talking about it. So, I'm going to start off by saying this. Why do you think that Tom Brady retired, then unretired? What do you think the actual reason is?
I honestly think everybody loves a comeback.
Everybody loves a comeback?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was thinking.
And some people have done that in their careers too, where they literally choose to just take a little time off, and then they get a comeback and everybody's like, oh my god! And it's like it's always just the hype. Dude, imagine if we were trying to record on Thunder. Could you hear all the planes over at your place?
I was at home most of the day, so
dude.
I don't really
they
know.
were so fucking bad. I could see them flying back to Bowman Field, but it was like at least 10 times that. Like for like a minute fucking straight.
I think we forget a lot of the time that these athletes are celebrities like all the other celebrities, and they're fucking divas. And they do shit for publicity a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. That's why nobody was shocked that he was coming back, because it didn't feel real that he was retired in the first place.
It's for the clout.
It's not that. It has nothing to do with that. Recently, it has come out, it's all been rumors, but it has come out that Tom Brady was retiring to become a part owner of the Miami Dolphins. And if you remember, if you watched or listened to the episode we did about Brian Flores, who is the head coach on the Dolphins, who's currently suing the NFL for racial discrimination, you would know why Tom Brady did not do that. Why he decided against being that. But it would have been a lucrative deal. I mean, part owner, you pretty much get to do whatever you want, and you just basically reap the benefits of it.
True.
But what's fucked up is there was probably tampering involved, because that's probably why he retired in the first place. There were probably offers given to him while he was at Tampa Bay as a quarterback. He was probably getting offers from the Dolphins behind the scene, under the table, to become an owner, and that's why he would have retired in the first place. That's against the law. That's pretty much the same thing as, like, insider trading, if you think about it.
It is. That absolutely is.
And there's probably a debate to be had about whether or not he should be allowed to do that. But I want to point out the fucked up part by the NFL, because they are not going to investigate this.
Of course. They're
not going to do anything to look into it. Brady has been involved in scandal before, obviously, and they're basically giving him a pass. Do you know why they're giving him a pass? It's not just because Tom Brady's the golden boy of the NFL. It's because if they investigated the Dolphins, they would be doing Brian Flores' work for them, because they would have to figure out, probe for information in the Dolphins that would end up helping Brian Flores in his case.
True. That's very true.
So, as a result of this, the entire thing has just been brushed under the rug, because they have their hands in media.
Yeah.
They have their hands in, like, perception.
Well, I mean, the reality is most sports news coverage is done by some show that's on all those sports channels that are all fucking operated by them or people associated with them.
And it's kind of a microcosm of like how politicians and parties be owning certain networks and just try to put their narrative out there. But isn't that fucked up that they can just do that, just do fucked up shit and sweep it under the rug like that? Because that's something that nobody is talking about. And it's one of those things where I can't say that I'm surprised that they did that in the first place, but I'm surprised they've been able to just sweep it under the rug and everyone's just going along with it.
I mean, just like you were saying, though, it's like they're the ones that would be investigating, and it's not within their interest to do so. So they have extreme motivation, not just because of, like, Tom Brady, but also, like, because in a way, if they hurt his reputation, it also hurts their reputation.
Yeah.
So, like, there's nobody else that would be choosing to do an investigation of that, though.
They, in their own self-interest, they should not want to get themselves in more trouble, dry snitch on themselves, basically.
Yeah.
But it is in their best interest to enforce the rules for everybody, enforce the laws for everybody. Because validity is taken away from organized sports in general when they start making concessions for Tom Brady, even though it's not just because it is Tom Brady, but because of the Flores situation. But regardless, it looks bad because not everybody can get away with shit like that. And when you're just someone new coming into the game, that might be better than Brady.
Yeah.
And Brady's still getting, like, all of the favor from the NFL because he's kind of the face. He's the one everybody fucking knows. It's just ugly. It's just ugly how corporations just get away with whatever they want.
Yeah. Yeah, and this isn't the only circumstance that's like this, because a lot of the time it is exactly...
It just gets covered up.
Yeah, because the only people that are going to be investigating is, like, an internal investigation, and that... It's so funny that there's, like, a specific fucking term for that, because in what situation does it make sense for any internal investigation? Because that's like having a guilty... like, the only way to prove somebody's guilt is if you just get a straight-up confession, you know?
Yeah. Or if the guilty person has to investigate themselves.
Right.
And
like,
they would be like, well, well, we didn't see nothing, so...
I didn't see nothing. And most of the time, that is basically how internal investigations go, too, is they'll just, like, take some time before they say anything. No comment, no comment. We did not find any evidence of yada, yada, yada. And, like, good God. And whoever decided that that's just, like, an okay system, very flawed person. Very mentally ill, almost. To just be like, yeah, that sounds like it'll work.
And the Dolphins organization will probably still end up being investigated.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be by, like, government people. But the thing, when there's outside investigations, they can kind of hide shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if the NFL did an investigation, they'd have access to a lot more shit than the feds would, which is crazy. And there's another layer to this that I just started thinking about. The coach of the Patriots, Bill Belichick, he was the one that kind of sparked Brian Flores suing in the first place.
Mm.
Remember that situation? Bill texted Brian congratulating him on a job that he hadn't even interviewed for yet. And then he was like, oh, sorry, wrong Brian, basically. Because it was some white dude named Brian that got the job before he had even gotten the chance. So you see what I'm insinuating here a little bit? Like, maybe Bill threw a match into the haystack, basically, knowing Brady was about to get burnt. Maybe this was like a chess move for him to try to get him exposed, because, I mean, he probably hears a lot of the shit behind the scenes. What if he heard about Tom Brady about to get become part owner of the Dolphins and thought, fuck him, bro. That probably burns him up. It probably burns him up that Brady got a ring after he left.
Yeah.
It probably... I wouldn't put it past him, because...
Holding the grudge.
When the Deflategate thing happened, it wasn't just Tom Brady. It was a Patriots thing.
Yeah, it's the whole team.
They're potentially just as shady as Brady is. And that could be where Brady learned it from. There's a lot of shady business dealings going on. And as someone who's in business,
I think the insider trading is a good way to describe it, dude.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it gives you an unfair advantage to do anything.
Mm-hmm. I do remember the whole Deflategate thing.
That was such a big thing.
It was. For no goddamn reason, it was funny. No,
It's kind of funny in retrospect. Like, I wonder how much deflating the ball would have even, like, helped to them. Like,
I think people were saying it makes it easier to catch.
Yeah.
But I also...
But wouldn't the other team use the same ball?
Exactly.
So it would make it easier for everybody.
I don't think it makes it easier to, like, kick it. I would imagine it makes it harder to kick it because there's not as much, like, bounce.
Yeah.
I don't know what any other advantage would be.
That's true. It would make it harder to kick. That's a fact.
I don't know what advantage there is.
I feel like we're on the cusp of, like,
cracking
the code. What does it all mean? Zach Galifianakis gif with all the numbers around him.
Or Charlie from Always Sunny on the mailroom. That's one of the best episodes.
Pepe Sylvia.
There is no Pepe. I gotta show you a video after this.
So, breaking news on the podcast, just when we're watching this, recording this.
Just when we're watching this.
Elon Musk has bought Twitter.
Oh, is that breaking news now?
Yeah.
He literally just... I thought it was just like he did.
He was talking about it. He, like, made an offer. And not, like, that serious of an offer. He tweeted an offer. But...
No, that's how Elon Musk does shit,
Today, Elon Musk has officially bought Twitter for $44 billion.
I'm glad I just created a Twitter account for the podcast. Now I can just be on there hating the owner.
Follow us on Highly Suspicious Twitter for Elon Musk hate content.
That's all it's going to be. The Instagram account will be regular shit, and every so often I'll make fun of Mark Zuckerberg. But the Twitter account is solely to hate on Elon Musk.
Follow for more Elon Musk slander.
The podcast is @HighlySusPod on Twitter.
So Elon Musk has been talking about buying Twitter, and he's been on the whole free speech thing.
That's but it's kind of some bullshit.
So, do you think that Elon Musk is about to run for, like, president? That's what he's going for right now? Because he just had a documentary come out. He just bought Twitter on the platform for free speech.
Fuck, Louis. Why the fuck did you bring that up? That's a good point. He very well could.
We're about to... I think we're like the Simpsons, bro.
God damn it, Louis. We can't predict this shit. That shit's fucked up.
But I'm going to run against him, and I'm going to beat him.
Wait, how old will you be?
It's going to be the next presidential cycle, Preston. I'm going to go to the Supreme Court, and I'm going to tell them that it's unconstitutional that you have to be 35 years old to be president, and I'm going to run using the podcast as the platform, and I am smoking
and you will be running as the youngest person in history. Do it, Louis. Please. They would hate me. I do want you to run for local office, though, because I'd love the idea of you being, like, mayor of Louisville.
That'd be hard.
That'd be hilarious.
I would love that.
That'd be iconic.
I think this is holding us back from ever being able to do that. Another thing that I thought of...
He could totally run for fucking president, though.
If he's really about this free speech agenda, is he about to give Trump his Twitter back? That's going to be bad for society.
That would be... That's more than 2 steps back.
Society stock is going to be like, woo!
Actual stocks, too. Everyone buy stock in Twitter right now.
Twitter stock going to the moon.
You know what?
Let's talk about Elon Musk's unethical stock practices. Have you ever thought about this?
He's the embodiment of unethical, dude.
He is basically Mr. Pump and Dump. He literally uses his huge platform to advertise meme stocks that go through the roof because nobody understands shit about anything.
True.
And he's making billions of dollars off of this, off of stupid people.
Stupid people.
Now, there's something to be said about the stupid people that are getting taken advantage of in these situations. Too, like, people obviously have their own free agency.
True.
And if you put all your money in Dogecoin and you lose $1 billion, that's on you.
That is on you, and it's survival of the fittest.
Yeah,
that's the reality.
It's a dog world.
You're an adult. That's your decision. Fuck it if you lose all your money. Who does that affect? Literally just you.
But I think it's fucked up that Elon even does that.
True.
Muskrat. I think it's fucked up that he even uses his platform like that just to make money, just to take advantage of people. Like, people look up to people like Elon Musk.
They really do.
And all of these people are literally scam artists. They're no better than me and you. They've just scammed harder. They've had lower morals. That's how they end up in situations like that.
Well, I also think that, like, a lot of the time, it's fucked up how any of these big billionaire CEOs will market themselves or somehow get depicted as self-made, when the reality is just having a really solid support system that you can go out on these big jumps and have a net to catch you is a huge fucking advantage.
Yeah.
Yes, they are very calculated in their decision to go ahead.
Not necessarily.
Not all of them, but, you know, fucking...
A lot of them have money to play with.
Who's to say that Apple or Facebook weren't, like, revolutionary ideas, you know? Or, like, Amazon.
All these rich people had money to play with.
That's true.
That's a huge advantage.
That's true.
Because people act like Elon got it out in the mud. His dad was the owner of an emerald mine.
Exactly.
And
also
rich.
For him and a couple of other guys like that, having very early access to computers.
Yeah.
Like, obviously that shit was going to change the fucking world.
Huge advantage.
So having just this early access to learn shit before almost everybody else, of course you're going to know it better than everyone and, like, end up being really successful off of it. That's just, like, statistically anybody who's within that early access to something like that is going to have more leverage in settings based around it.
Do you want me to give a update on the Louisville basketball program?
Yes.
We landed former 5-star recruit who's a Tennessee transfer. I forget dude's name, but he's like 6'11". And,
damn.
He should be a really solid guy for us, especially since Kenny Payne's supposed to be the big man whisperer.
The big man whisperer? I thought it was is that his official title?
That's one of them. His official title with the school. Hired as the big man whisperer.
Oh,
that's his position. This was, our first real recruit. Yeah. Really. Because this is the
that's
first
a good
person
start, dude.
Who hasn't already committed, who's committed. So it's a good time. We're trending in the right direction. But I was going to say something else. Please jog my memory.
I don't know what you were gonna say.
I don't know.
It's a good recruit.
I think I was gonna talk about something different. I think I was.
Do you think that's we're gonna be trending in the right direction for fucking basketball?
Hope so.
Hope so. I hope so too. I'm gonna put actual money on it if it starts looking good enough.
Okay. Let's go. It's back, baby. I'm just gone and back. Louis has left the building. And he's came back in because he forgot his coat.
You forgot. You forget a lot of stuff. Where'd the lighter go?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up. It can be short. But the NBA playoffs are going on. And in the Minnesota Timberwolves Memphis Grizzlies series, there has been like 4 or 5 protests during the game, and I don't even know what they're protesting for, but like one game, someone like glued themselves to the floor, tried to glue themselves to the floor, and they like ripped them up.
What the fuck?
And another game, like the lady like handcuffs herself to the rim.
Oh my god.
And it just happened again last night, so...
Dude, you need to look up what the fuck they're protesting. Because we just live in a society that doesn't really like people who disturb the peace. So a lot of the time, those messages can get lost if it's just like, fuck this person for being a disruptive asshole.
So this is an article on nbchicago.com. It says, it's the third time that there's been a protester at a Timberwolves game. The first protester ran on the floor during the play-in tournament with glue on her hand and stuck it to the court. Next, during game 1 in Memphis, a protester chained herself to the hoop before being carried out.
That's pretty funny, honestly. And they have no idea why?
And this time, they just basically, like, ran out onto the court. They didn't have any, like, objective. And they didn't get them very fast. But what they've been doing, like, it's been just... They're used to it now. They just, like... make sure that the camera's on something else.
Yeah.
Like, they'll have, like, the reaction of the team, and they'll be just watching it. They're all just frustrated. Like, oh. John Morant's got his hand, it's on his head, like, shaking. God damn it. Like, we're just trying to hoop, man.
We're just trying to hoop.
Like, I get if you're protesting, like, the organization or something, like, but, like, why are you trying to protest us?
Yeah.
Like, we're just trying to hoop.
That's true.
I didn't know this. The protester yesterday ran onto the court disguised as a referee.
That's pretty fucking genius.
I mean...
It's like if you want to go out and do some illegal shit, wear a reflective vest to draw attention to yourself and look like you're official. And then people will just assume that you're like...
They're animal rights
with
protesters.
The city. What?
They're animal rights protesters.
Because the teams have animal mascots.
Because it's Timberwolves versus Grizzlies. It's offensive to animals. That's what we're going to go with.
I mean, PETA really will, though, be like, these animals need rights equal to humans. And, like, bro, I get it. Everything has a right to fucking just, like, live, but does it mean that the fucking wildlife or Mother Earth herself needs fucking the freedoms of an American citizen to pursue life, liberty, and happiness?
Do you think they know that it's not real grizzly bears and Timberwolves?
No, they're forcing Timberwolves and grizzly bears to play basketball against each other.
They think that the anthropomorphic mascots are really wolves, a standing wolf.
Actually, the mascots, yeah, they're totally fucking... See, what they don't understand is that they're just people who are horribly mutated to look like that. People who are mutated aren't animals.
Kyrie's been playing during Ramadan. So,
oh, yeah?
Like, he's been going crazy without any, like, food or water.
Yeah, dude.
Which is crazy as fuck to me because whenever I hoop, I'm thirsty as fuck.
Dude,
I need a lot of water to even maintain.
It's intense. Fasting like that is fucking intense.
Have you done it before?
Yeah. I mean, ish. I don't know. I generally don't drink a lot of water, so I might have gone an entire day fasting with no water.
But you were just doing it with food?
Yeah. Where just, like, accidentally was like, well, guess I did both. And most of the time, it's usually, like, there's an exception for women or kids or pregnant women or the elderly. But also sometimes, you know, just because it's not, we don't live in such a traditional world, people will just, you know, for the reason that they don't have to, will just accept water. Or, like, some people fasting, it's like, you know, water, tea, coffee, because that's all basically just water. But Yeah, it's the people who are more traditional that would generally be fasting without water as well. And it is fucking intense to just, like, go with absolutely nothing on your stomach. But also it's interesting because it's currently, in modern times, specifically associated with, like, Islam and some other Eastern religions. But Christians used to fast and Jewish people will too, and it's across all cultures associated with just like trying to be closer to God and
do you think
being more self-aware.
Do you think that Lent, where you can't eat meat except for fish, is that like a descendant version?
I mean, in a way, it kind of
fasting?
is, yeah. Where it's just like
version of fasting.
Well, it's just like forcing yourself to go without anything because.
Yeah.
The reality is, if you have the choice to, it does make you a little more aware of your privilege or
fish is gross.
Whatever.
I don't want to do that.
Well, I don't know. I also think it's funny because like you could say the same thing about like New Year's resolutions. We're just like around a specific time, people decide, okay, I'm gonna not do this thing, and like. It all has the same connection of like just trying to force yourself to do anything, especially stuff that's a habit. And that's why New Year's resolutions are usually people choose to stop doing a bad habit. Meat is like, and eating is associated with just gluttony.
Yeah.
In religious aspects, so choosing to deny yourself those things. Man, I can't imagine trying to do a fucking sport fasting like that though.
He was fasting, but I think he broke fast one day and like ate a banana, which
so he didn't fucking die probably though. Jeez,
fucking needed that. Fucking when your body's on 1%. So the Nets are playing the Celtics, and Kyrie used to play on the Celtics.
Yeah.
So the Celtic fans have just been being horrible, booing every time he goes on the court, booing him, and just fucking kind of harsh, taking it too seriously. But I hate some things Kyrie does, but I love some things he does just because he just does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
So he was fined for flipping off the crowd several times during the night. Like what he would do, he would act like he was scratching his
the back
hair,
of his head,
and he would like flick them off behind his head.
That's fucking good. I do it too.
And there was one time where he kind of like threw it up, and it almost looked like a peace sign if you weren't paying attention to it, because he was holding it up like a peace sign.
So he
wasn't trying to be obvious with it. But they fined him like $25K for it or something like that.
Bro, what the fuck?
And he also basically said fuck Boston in the post game. And he was like, if they're not gonna go easy on me, I'm not gonna go easy on them. And it's like, I mean, as players, you should have like the freedom of speech to just be like, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't think that's going to mean that everybody's going to
be it's fucked that they can just have, like, a stadium full of people shit on them and they have to not do anything.
In the Celtics, in the past have historically, like, screamed, like, racial slurs and shit at certain players.
Yeah.
Boston's had a bad history with it. And it's not, like, everybody, and it's not a lot of people now. And I don't even think that's the only connotation for why they hate Kyrie so much.
Yeah,
but
true.
Yeah, it's just ugly. I think that whole team is really about like just not giving a fuck, not just saying what you think, and not thinking they're above calling out fans. Because like Kevin Durant has told fans to like shut the fuck up this season because they're like heckling. And he just turned to them, and he was just like, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
And he got fined for that. But I think you should be allowed to do that. I don't know.
I think so. I think it's reasonable.
I get for, like, TV or whatever, like, cursing in interviews or whatever.
Yeah. But just, like, in the game.
Like, they're cursing out on the field, like, all the time. And sometimes it picks it up and sometimes it doesn't.
True.
But it's like, why why do you care? You know?
Yeah.
Just pay for somebody to bleep it out like everybody else. I'm watching The Batman tonight, finally.
Oh, tonight?
It's on streaming services. It's probably too late to do a review of that.
I was thinking I might rewatch it, honestly.
But I just went to the movie theater yesterday. Went to Baxter with my cousin, and we watched The Northman. Have you seen anything about that?
Yeah, I have seen... I saw the, trailer or ad for it.
It was...
At the Batman.
Yeah. It was directed by Robert Eggers, who did, like, The Witch.
Yeah.
Did The Lighthouse, which is one of my favorites.
I
have you seen The Lighthouse?
No.
I think we should do a Lighthouse review sometime. I think it would be really funny.
Isn't it, like, kind of scary?
Yeah.
Let's do it around Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do, like, throughout the month.
I'm not opposed to doing it
different
around
movie
any
reviews.
time. But, yeah. But this is, a much more serious movie. And it's, like...
It looks really good.
It's, like, this Viking movie. And basically, a prince watches his dad get killed by his uncle, and his uncle takes the queen basically for himself, and he basically turns into this like absolute killer, like pillager type person, and then he's just obsessed with like revenge, avenging his father, you know, and saving his mother, you know. But it was a pretty nuts movie. I thought it was, I'd say it was really good. It felt longer than it actually was.
How long was it?
I think it was a little over 2 hours. I think it was under like 2.5 hours though.
Okay.
I think it was only about like
you saw it in theater?
2:05, yeah.
Did you think it was one of those movies that you should see in theater? Yeah.
The shots were pretty
to
incredible.
It because we both were like, I kind of am interested in that.
It's kind of like an action movie, and you know it has a lot of story and stuff to it too. But like, there are some moments that are definitely gory, and there are definitely some moments that are weird. So just know that before you go see it. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
You just fucking cut it. You always just fucking cut it, Lou.
Goodbye, everybody.
Don't put this in here. You're not going to put this in here.
We'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week.
Thanks for hanging out with us this week, guys. We'll see you again next week.
Is that one of the things you want to change next season?